So they've always wanted IT spending for business to be part of strategy, but it's been difficult. Go back with me some years. When we're talking about when IT first hit the world, it was doing back office functions. So this was accounting, payroll, human resources, nothing customer facing. So there was really no push to try to get some sort of business metrics and business value out of it. At some point, it flipped. And we end up having now a want to get business metrics out of the IT system, similar to what they do in every other area. In every other area, with manufacturing or anything else, they want to try to minimize the cost, maximize the profit, maximize the customer experience. But because of this origin story of IT, it's been very difficult because systems are pretty well shared together. For the longest time, this was all done trying to establish business value between usage was done through allocation, which is a horrible way to do it. Pick a value at one point in time, and then that kind of becomes the charge that you give per month over time based on what the accountants think is the right way to do it, not based on the reality of actual business usage. There's a change that happened. When cloud became a prominent type of technology, it caused the ability for businesses to detect a pulse in when they spend dollars in IT, what's the business outcome? And because everything is charged in cloud, that allows the businesses to start to get that sense of it. This is what's been going on for the last 10 years. And you'd have to have been asleep to think that there hasn't been this major push to cloud by all sorts of large companies.
Right.
We see it today. Most companies are somewhere between 30 to 70% deployed on cloud. And what's happening is now that they get all those metrics and direct ties and that one-to-one expense for business outcomes, they can start measuring that. That's what the whole FinOps idea is all about, is being able to attach business outcomes to your IT purchasing. And where the outcomes are good, let's spend more. And where the outcomes are bad, let's spend less. The difficulty was making this work on-prem. And this is not a small problem because there is a kind of fog of war issue at play with IT resources. It's not super obvious to people that don't work in IT, but there's a variable usage problem in IT resources. What I mean by that is it's almost like a fog of war. Like you don't know how much resources a workload is going to use until it actually goes to use it. We see this in things like storage, where dedupe and compression, these features are, well, put your data on there and then we'll see what happens. We don't know what the result's going to be. And that's so much of IT. And so you have this fog of war that's prevented resource utilization to be attached cleanly to business outcomes. What do they do to solve this in the cloud? Why did AWS and Azure make this work? They ignored it. They said, we'll figure out a way to use all that variability to our advantage. But if you look at what gets charged for in the public clouds, you don't get any of the benefit of the possible variability, the efficiency, those sorts of things that come from new features and technology. But in the on-prem world, there's a major need to get those features in and use them because they're actually valuable for outcomes. So what's happened is we've taken all these on-prem features and we've tried a couple times to launch private clouds for 20 years. Think of vCloud Director, and none of them worked because they were all too constraining for what they're trying to do in the on-prem data center. So now what's happened is cloud became very popular and FinOps starts to show this pulse back to business, and business is able to say, this is working, let's invest more in it. Here we come at this moment in time to say, we can give you those usage resource metrics and tie them to business outcomes for the on-prem workload in the same way that we do for the cloud workload. That's really the transform that we're doing here today.